Hello and welcome to the Inspiration Quote Vault channel, where I share with you some of the most inspiring and motivational quotes from famous people. Today, I'm going to talk about Eleanor Roosevelt, who was the longest-serving First Lady of the United States, a diplomat, a human rights activist, and a writer. She was known for her wisdom, courage, and compassion, and she left behind many memorable quotes that can inspire us to live better lives. Here are some of my favorites. Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, small minds discuss people. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. With the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. A woman is like a tea bag, you can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life, and be without flavor. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, for you'll be criticized anyway. You'll be damned if you do, and damned if you don't. Never allow a person to tell you no who doesn't have the power to say yes. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You are able to say to yourself, I lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. It is not fair to ask of others what you are not willing to do yourself. You must do the things you think you cannot do. In the long run, we shape our lives, and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die. And the choices we make are ultimately our own responsibility. You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with courage and with the best that you have to give. It takes as much energy to wish as it does to plan. I once had a rose named after me and I was very flattered. But I was not pleased to read the description in the catalog, no good in a bed, but fine up against a wall. People grow through experience if they meet life honestly and courageously. This is how character is built. It isn't enough to talk about peace. One must believe in it. And it isn't enough to believe in it. One must work at it. I think, at a child's birth, if a mother could ask a fairy godmother to endow it with the most useful gift, that gift should be curiosity. Since you get more joy out of giving joy to others, you should put a good deal of thought into the happiness that you are able to give. When life is too easy for us, we must beware, or we may not be ready to meet the blows which sooner or later come to everyone, rich or poor. Happiness is not a goal, it is a byproduct. The giving of love is an education in itself. Perhaps nature is our best assurance of immortality. We are afraid to care too much, for fear that the other person does not care at all. Justice cannot be for one side alone, but must be for both. There are practical little things in housekeeping which no man really understands. Remember always that you not only have the right to be an individual, you have an obligation to be one. Understanding is a two-way street. Sometimes I wonder if we shall ever grow up in our politics and say definite things which mean something, or whether we shall always go on using generalities to which everyone can subscribe, and which mean very little. Life must be lived and curiosity kept alive. One must never, for whatever reason, turn his back on life. Friendship with oneself is all important, because without it one cannot be friends with anyone else in the world. You can never really live anyone else's life, not even your child's. The influence you exert is through your own life, and what you've become yourself. My experience has been that work is almost the best way to pull oneself out of the depths. It is not more vacation we need, it is more vocation. Old age has deformities enough of its own. It should never add to them the deformity of vice. One's philosophy is not best expressed in words, it is expressed in the choices one makes. And the choices we make are ultimately our responsibility. The only things one can admire at length are those one admires without knowing why. What one has to do usually can be done. When you cease to make a contribution, you begin to die. Have convictions. Be friendly. Stick to your beliefs as they stick to theirs. Work as hard as they do. I think that somehow, we learn who we really are and then live with that decision. I cannot believe that war is the best solution. No one won the last war, and no one will win the next war. I believe that anyone can conquer fear by doing the things he fears to do, provided he keeps doing them until he gets a record of successful experience behind him. I have spent many years of my life in opposition, and I rather like the role. The mother of a family should look upon her housekeeping and the planning of meals as a scientific occupation. Ambition is pitiless. Any merit that it cannot use it finds despicable. I'm so glad I never feel important, it does complicate life. You can't move so fast that you try to change the mores faster than people can accept it. That doesn't mean you do nothing, but it means that you do the things that need to be done according to priority. The battle for the individual rights of women is one of long standing, and none of us should countenance anything which undermines it. These are just some of the amazing quotes by Eleanor Roosevelt that I wanted to share with you today. I hope they inspired you as much as they inspired me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.